I'd like to thank everyone for coming tonight. It's good to see a good turnout. I really wasn't gonna say a whole lot about this. A few things have been said. I called Mr. Owens about 3 weeks ago. And I told Mr. Owens, I said, Jack, if Mr. Twine wins the election, I'm not gonna say not one word about that library. Not one word. Well, I went around my community, Ewell, Gatesville, and Gates. I don't get on the other side of the county very much, but I do hear what my citizens have to say and my constituents, and I listen. I'm a numbers guy. I believe in statistics. I believe in probability. And any of you know from the very beginning, and I believe we do need a library. I don't have any problem with that whatsoever. But I do have a real problem when you ignore the facts that are before you and you're blind to that. I made a presentation, took me a while to get the data, but I got that data. And I was willing to spend $1,500 of my own money to get that.
Yep.
Well, lo and behold, I was lucky enough to go on the website for Polaris Systems and saw that they had 100 ad hoc reports available. Well, I called the gentleman there and I asked him about that. And he said, you haven't gotten that list yet? I said, no, sir. So then I called, he said, well, Mr. Hoyle has them. Well, I called Mr. Hoyle and I got those. And I put them together. And I made the presentation here. And I showed you. Now this, and I don't want this to be misleading, man. This is about data records that are on the barcode of the average number of people that use that for 2 years. That represented right at 11% of those that were registered to vote in Gates County. That's unaffiliated, Republicans, and Democrats. Well, that 11% had 79% adults. When you take and make that calculation, it comes to about 7%. 7 or 8, maybe 9, somewhere along there. Well, this is what happened. And I had a very good idea of what was going to happen. And I called Mr. Owens and I talked to him about this when I saw that. And I'm all about, like I said, the numbers and the statistics. Well, if you take the number of votes, and to me it was a referendum, I'm listening and to what the majority says, and this Toad is exactly right. Unfortunately, and this, I'm going to give you another statistics that I'm going to get back to that. There's about 75% of the people that are qualified to register to vote. Out of those statistics, only 55 to that 75 in most localities actually go register to vote. When it comes voting day, about 40% of those actually hit the polls. You know how many it takes to win? 1 over half. So it only takes 20% of the people to win. That's sad. That is sad. And people need to take interest in what they're doing. Well, when you look at those numbers, there's 5,038 registered Democrats in Gates County. 1,951 of them, no, 19, it's been revised on the North Carolina State Board of Elections. 1,956 of them actually voted. That's it. That represented right at 39%. Well, if you go back and take the percent distributions, and this is what's so ironic, take the percent distributions, there was about 17% of the 100% that was recorded. If you put that percentage of 39% back against the 100 and prorate the weighted average, the people that supported that position was about 6.7%. That's it.
Yep.
That's a shame. That's a real crying shame. We're not talking about pencils and paper. we're talking about $1.5 million. And I worked tirelessly and earnestly to get the majority, Mr. Jordan too, wanted to have a referendum that you could do through the tax levy or the survey, just like Ms. Riddick talking about. We put out a survey for our water box out here, but we couldn't send out a survey to you, the good citizens of Gates County, to see if you supported this library. We couldn't do that. That behooves me. That's being short-sighted and nearsighted.
Yep.
Whether you like my position or you don't, it's my duty to sell to you. And if I can't sell you, you know what I have to do? I have to change my position to win. And I'm doing all of it. I want to win. It's not too late. We're out here getting ready to spend $1.1 million out there in the Commerce Center that's 700 feet off the highway. A nice building, and we put it in hiding. We don't even have a paved road to get to it. That's asinine to me when you're counting on a third party to build a road for you. We don't have a performance bond. So here we are holding the bag. We go get a building, and we might not have a road. Well, guess what? We might have to pay for the road. Is that wise business sense to you guys?
Nope.
Would you run your business like that?
Nope.
I would not. I've made my career on finance and making wise and pertinent decisions for my employer to have a return on my assets. You must have a return. There's some great ideas about the courthouse here, and I'm in total agreement. But I do intend to solicit your input. That's my sole purpose. And I hope that some of these ideas that you have, that you will share them with me. I already have some ideas. There's going to be a change in December. There may be some other changes. Just because you have a building don't mean it becomes that. There's lots of things we need in Gates County. But we do not need to be short-sighted. It is imperative that we work as a team. Now, I don't like sitting up here like this. This is not my style. Corporate society, I go shut the door. You work on me, I work on you. Unfortunately, it can't happen like that up here.
Nope.
It doesn't happen. So, there are a lot of things that are going to happen, but I just encourage you to take interest in your county. They are your tax dollars, and I am working hard to save them with several proposals. We've already saved $300,000 just for changing the terms on loans that have been set in that thing. We got another potential from anywhere from $600,000 to $861,000, depending on where the rates are, just by changing terms. This is being proactive and saving you taxpayers money. Mr. Pierce, a few weeks ago, talked about our debt again. And like I said, businesses that are smart are paying their debt down. They are having, honestly, with the way things are, they have to take and cut employees and turn them loose so that they can continue to operate. It's just a fact of life. It's unfortunate. I had many people in this county that were victims of that. I had some great people working with me that were young people, had 20 years at the mill, but they got put on the street. Why? And it's easy to blame IP and that, the big businesses and things, but a smart business, I mean, you wouldn't do that. You can't do that. You cannot afford to lose money. You must make money. Well, here in Gates County, as a government, these are the way you make money. It's by refinancing, getting out and doing proactive things like that, growing the revenues by reducing expenditures and exposure. And it's easy to do that. You can take 0.5% on the tax rate if we had to do that, but we're not gonna have to do that. We've been positive, very positive. Cash flow positive this year, gonna be real good, looks like, depending on where the burn rate is, and I don't really know that, but looking at March 31, we were $234,000 ahead. Now, it's easy to look at these things, but you have to be proactive, very much so. And you have to look at the data. You don't make decisions without the probability of success. Anybody go buy a stock and think they want it to go down? Do you want to do that? I don't.
Nope.
So you go get your data and you try to see if you're making a wise decision. I want to win. And you want to help other people win by sharing knowledge with them and growing them, because if you grow, they will grow, and they will challenge you and push you higher to higher levels. That's what we want for all our children. And just like Mr. Bazemore just said about our schools, it's extremely important that we continue to do that. We might not be able to retain our children, but when you send them out in the workplace, you want to make sure that they are 100% prepared to be successful in this world and be a positive influence on society. Now, we as adults have to take that responsibility too. But I look forward going forward here, and I look forward to your ideas, and I hope you will share them with me, and I will be a champion to push them forward. I'm not bashful at all, and I don't mind being tough. But I do like for us to get along and do that, and we can do that as a team, but we must listen to everyone, not the guy that's got a dime, or the guy that's got a million, or the guy that's super bright, or the one that's not. You must listen to everyone. And this 20% number that we're talking about, that's a shame. Go out there to your young people and encourage all of you people to go vote. If you're going to lose, I want to make sure I lost everybody out there beating on me rather than just a few people. It's important. But there's just so many people that will not do that. I really have a hard time understanding that. I can understand why people want to get up and come and talk and say something, but I don't know why in the world they won't go sit in a booth with a curtain around and nobody can see you and vote. But anyhow, enough of that tonight. I appreciate you being here, and I hope you will come back, and I hope you